Good morning. I am Ramanda Noble Watson, the Director of Public Relations and Communications with the South Carolina High School League. It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome you to the 2023 Boys Soccer State Finalist Press Conference. With us this morning, we have coaches and players from classes 1A, 2A, and 3A. Before we get started with our finalists, we will have some words from the Commissioner of the South Carolina High School League, Dr. Jerome Singleton.
Thank you, Ms. Romanda. Good morning and congratulations to your teams. I know you've had a great season. You are our best by the fact that you're playing this weekend. You've created some great memories, I'm sure, and you got another opportunity to create some more. You are our ambassadors. These games will be live streamed. We just ask that you keep sportsmanship in front of you and do the best that you can. Play to win, but recognize that we're all in this together. Show the world what South Carolina High School League athletics is all about. Again, congratulations. Enjoy the press conference, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. And now let's meet our participants. From Class 1A, we have St. Joseph Catholic School, coached by Frank Kusinik. Coach, please introduce us to your players.
Today we have two of our captains, Matthew Hall, our senior, and junior Eli Ireland, who's a junior.
Welcome in. And they will match up against Christ Church Episcopal School, coached by Anthony Esquivel. Coach, please introduce your athletes.
Today I have with me senior captain Joji Ajiri and senior captain Chip Waldrop.
Thank you, Coach. Competing in Class 2A, we have Gray Collegiate Academy, coached by Kevin Heisey. Coach, please introduce us to your athletes.
Thank you. Joining me today is our captains, Ben Richards, a junior, and Joey Sullivan, a sophomore.
And they will match up against Oceanside Collegiate Academy, coached by Colin Phillips. Coach Phillips, your athletes, please.
Yes, on my left, we have junior Isaac Rashid, captain. On my right, we have Dominic Dillier, also captain and a senior.
And finally, for Class 3A, we have W.D. Daniel High School, who is coached by Thomas Izagare. Coach could not be with us, so standing in a gap for us is the athletics director, Tommy Plumley.
We have Eddie Merck, a junior, and an Ethan Moraro, captain and senior.
Thank you. And finally, we have Beaufort High School, coached by Terry Rawlins. Coach, please introduce us to your players.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. To my right, I have Sam Trask, senior captain, and to my left, I have Ben Christian, also a senior captain.
Thank you for those introductions. And gentlemen, please sit back, relax. We're going to have a little bit of fun, and we're going to get you out of here so you can go do your testings and your classes and all those good things you may have. And we will begin with a brief summary of the seasons by our coaches. And we will start with the coaches from Class 3A. And Coach Rollins, we'll start with you.
Yes, ma'am. So this has been a journey. The two gentlemen that sit to my right and my left been with me for about 4 years, 5 years. So this has been a journey in coming. We started this season. Right now we 13 wins straight. We're looking forward to play on Saturday. We have a good opponent and we totally respect them, and we're looking forward to an excellent game.
Thank you so much. And since Coach can't be here with Daniel High School, I'm gonna come to AD Plumley and just ask us to give us a little insight that you know of on your team.
Well, this will be our third time in a row at the state championship. It's been fun to watch the team kind of gel and grow over the season. You know, you've got a lot of new faces who are playing for us, and it'll be an exciting game. Great opponent in Beaufort, and I had a chance to speak with their AD yesterday, and just looking forward to it.
Well, thank you so much. And now we'll move on to our 1A coaches. And Coach Kusinik, please just give us a little rundown on how your season went.
Well, thanks for having us first and foremost. It's been a great season for us. We have typically the past 2 or 3 years have been a very young team. That's no different with only having 2 seniors this year. Our mindset has been all from the get-go is in order to be the best, you play the best. And some of the teams that are on this call with us right now, you know, we took our bumps and bruises over the course of the past 3 or 4 years, and we're starting to see the fruit of our labor right now. And so, yeah, just very pleased with what we've done. And Looking forward to play against Christ Church. They've always been the measuring stick. They've always been, leading the way. In order to be the best, you play the best, and we're looking forward to playing one of the best teams in the state. So,
Well,
couldn't
thank
be
you.
more proud of these young men as well.
Thank you, Coach. And speaking of Christ Church, Coach Escobar, can you give us an insight on your path to the state finals?
Oh, yeah, it's been just a really interesting journey for us this year, particularly dropping from 2A class into 1A class. So it's presented us with a lot of new opponents that we've had to face, but we've been really proud of the journey, and most importantly, our mentality throughout the season to get back into the state championship game for a third year in a row. So that has been kind of our focus, has been really just making sure that we stay humble and hungry and have the right approach, whether we're in 2A or in 1A. So we're excited about the game on Saturday, playing against St. Joe's, who we've played now 2 times already this season. So the third matchup will be a fun one.
All right, thank you, Coach, for sharing that. And now finally, we'll hear from our 2A coaches and Coach Phillips.
Yes, hi. Well, this is my first year at the institution. I had the pleasure of working with a lot of these boys before in the club level. So it's more of a coming back together, getting to see them in the final year, some of them, Coach Dominic on this side and Isaac. So we had a really good season thus far, played some very good competition in the low country. And as the St. Joe's coach said, we saw them earlier in the season. So we had a really good start. Hopefully we could get to do that again next season and help these young men grow and the institution become better and stronger.
All right, and thank you. And finally, Coach Heisey.
Yes, thank you again. We're extremely excited to be back in the final. Last year, I played Anthony's group at Christ Church in the final in the 2A championship. This year, we get a chance to play Oceanside, which is among the best teams in the nation. I think United Soccer Coaches has them at number 2, and Max Prep's overall power rating has them at 4. So they're as good as anybody in the country. So a heck of a measuring stick for us, and our group's battle tested. We graduated 10 players a year ago, and had a little bit of retooling to do going into this season. And certainly we faced a little bit of adversity mid-year and had to overcome some personnel issues, and we battled through it, and our kids have persevered for the most part, and they're battle tested. We played the River Bluffs and Chapins and teams of that ilk, and we feel prepared. We've got 21 wins, and we're happy about it, but we're not satisfied with that, and looking forward to this Saturday.
Well, thank you, coaches. And now we'll move on to student athletes, and we will open the questioning with class 2A and grade collegiate. We'll stay with you. This is for Ben. Having been to the state final a year ago, do you feel that your team is better prepared this time around?
Yes, ma'am. I feel as if last year it taught us some stuff about where we're playing and the temperature it's going to be and just that type of thing.
All right. And this question is for Dominic from Oceanside. Tell me about a time where your team faced some adversity and how did you overcome it?
I think the biggest adversity we faced as a team this year was everyone getting, used to each other after having a long club season, especially during preseason when, we had to get back into the fitness levels of training every day when, when we're at club, we train 3 times a week. So I think we overcame that well as a team, and everyone's up into shape.
Thanks for sharing that. And we'll come back to 2A in a moment. Let's talk with our students from class 3A and Ethan from Daniel. How does this year's team compare to last year's team, which won the 2022 state championship?
So obviously last year we lost quite a few seniors, especially those that started in our starting 11. But this year our players have stepped up. We filled in the roles and we're going back again. Plan on doing the same thing as last year.
and to Beaufort. And Sam, up to this point, what is your favorite moment with the Beaufort High School soccer team for this year?
I think our last game to win Lower State, obviously it went into double overtime and then PKs, and we won that game. It was a great moment with the boys and definitely something we'll remember for a while.
Okay, so sit tight, and we're going to go on to 1A and St. Joe's. And Matthew, as only one of two seniors in this team, what has the role of a senior captain meant to you?
Definitely a lot of extra pressure. Sometimes it feels like all eyes are on me, and sometimes they are. But I think that extra pressure has just pushed me to be more of a role model for the younger players and the underclassmen. So, yeah.
Okay, and to Christchurch, Chip, what makes this team so special?
Well, a lot of our guys have been together for the past 3 or 4 years now, so I think we formed like a really tight brotherhood with all the players on our team.
Okay, and we're going to stay with 1A, and we're going to go to Joji. Tell me, what has been the highlight for you, for your team this season?
I think the highlight for us this season has been the Upper State Championship and winning that.
Okay. So Eli, we're going to come back to you now, and we're going to say you have played a very challenging schedule and actually done well against several of the bigger schools. How have those games, do you feel, prepared you for the state championship game?
Yeah, so first off, I just want to congratulate everyone on making it to state, and I wish you all the best of luck. To answer your question, I think Christchurch is without a doubt one of the hardest teams that we've faced, and for the next coming years will continue to be the hardest team that we face. And so facing teams like Oceanside, who are ranked among the top teams in the nation, just playing that competition gets us mentally prepared as well as physically and technically prepared to play Christchurch, who's just such a talented team.
Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for congratulating all of the other athletes. And now let's move back to 2A and Oceanside. And Isaac, what has been the high point? I've asked this question before, but what has been the high point for you this season?
Yeah, for us, a hot point has been just being able to keep the team in check and working hard and always knowing that we have each other's back. We're all one as a team, and we just work together very well.
Thank you. And so for Joy from Gray Collegiate, please tell us about an adversity, if there is one, that your team faced and that you had to overcome.
Well, we lost one of the best strikers in probably the whole state. And as a team, it really helped us grow. We stepped up, filled in his shoes, and I think it helped better prepare us.
Okay. Thank you for answering that. And so we're going to head, I'm just jumping around, and we're going to head to 3A. And then from Beaufort, talk to us about the team chemistry, players and coaches, and what has that meant for your team this season?
Yeah, well, a lot of us guys have played not only school ball together, but we've played in the fall. We've been a tight-knit group since middle school. And I think that's contributed to a lot of our chemistry on the field and off the field. Not a lot of like focus up, all that stuff. It really has to go on because we're all prepared. We're all
right, frozen, but we'll get back to them. And so, and finally,
each and every game. We know how each other play, so it definitely helps.
All right, and finally, Eddie from Daniel High School, at what point in the season did you realize, hey, this team, we have a chance to make it to the state finals?
Well, I think early in the season when we were all just giving it all in practice and really showing all, we're going to be back again. So I'm just really proud and going to be there Saturday. So.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for that information. It was a lot of information, and it gives our viewers an insight on how your path to the state finals and what some of the things you have to do. And so those are all the formal questions I have, but of course I have to throw in a couple of fun questions for both our coaches and players. And so I will switch it up a little bit. I normally start with the coaches, but I know some of the students have to go, and do some other things. So we're going to start with the players, and this is what I would want the players to answer for me. A lot of players have pregame rituals. Can you please tell me about your pregame ritual if you have one? And we'll start with St. Joe's and Eli. What is your pregame ritual?
So our pregame ritual is we go into our locker room and we fill up a water bottle with air, and then we take a dumbbell and we all huddle around it, and then we go back and forth like chanting, and then we throw the dumbbell on the water bottle and it makes like a really loud explosion, and then we all start banging on the lockers in the locker room.
Okay, that's unique. That's very
Guys, our
unique.
AD's listening to this right now.
I know. I'm not sure if you like you banging on things, but okay. And Matthew, what about you?
I have like my food all planned out. So about 3 to 4 hours before, I'll have peanut butter banana, peanut butter crackers, trail mix, and some rice sticks. And that gets me all set up. And then maybe a body armor.
All right.
I got it all planned out.
But the ratio to nuts and the peanuts in the bar have to be identical. They have to be spot on. So it's quite
Wow.
impressive.
Very particular.
Okay, Christchurch, is your turn. Joji, you have a pregame ritual you want to share with us?
I mean, I don't really do much. I mean, I might eat a Cliff Bar or something, but other than that.
So nothing special. Okay, that's fine. Before every time I cover a game or something, I just say a little prayer and keep it moving. So Chip, what about you?
I like to eat a peanut butter and say a prayer.
All right. So we're gonna go to our 2A competitors in Oceanside. Dominic, share with us your pregame ritual.
I don't really find myself having a pregame ritual too much. I guess I do find myself eating Chick-fil-A more before every single game.
Chick-fil-A.
I will say that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Isaac?
I'm a pretty superstitious person. So one of my big things is I have to put everything on my right side before my left. So all my right socks go on and shoes go on before my left side.
Okay. Right side. Okay, got it. So we're gonna move on to Gray Collegiate, and Ben, share with us your pregame ritual.
I would say I don't personally have one, but as a team, we all prayer before the match. That's about it.
Okay. Joey, do you have a personal one?
Yeah, I just enjoy laying on the turf, especially when it's hot. I do that for like 10 minutes at a time before a game.
Okay. So just sunbathing before the game.
Pretty much.
Okay then. And finally, we're gonna go to Daniel and Eddie.
I have a teammate and we say the Lord's Prayer before every game.
And Ethan?
Before every away game on the bus, the last song we play is the Champions League anthem before every away game.
Okay. So our final 3A competitor, we're gonna go to Buford and Ben.
We don't really do that much. Team will listen to music, kind of get hyped together, then we'll pray before the game.
Okay. Sam, you have anything personally that you have to do?
Pretty much the same thing, maybe listen to some Young Dolph, but that's about it.
Okay. So we got an insight on the players, what they do before the game, if they do anything. So coaches, it's your turn. I'm gonna come back to you now. And so what I'd like to ask the coaches, if you were not coaching soccer, what sport would you coach? If you were not coaching soccer, what sport would you coach? And yep, think about it. And actually, coach, I don't know, you don't have very long because you're up first.
All right.
Coaches and Coach Rollins.
Thank you. I think I hear another Trinidadian on this feed too. So we'll see. If I wasn't coaching soccer or football, like we call it back home, it would be cricket. Cricket is also one of the sports that we play back in Trinidad. And but soccer is the main thing. But cricket would be the thing I'd be coaching.
Okay. So AD Tommy, you have to tell us too. Even though you're filling in, you got to let us know.
Well, since I'm not coaching soccer,
Right.
Football.
Football. Okay. Okay. Now to our 1A coaches, what sport would it be, Coach Kusinik?
Being Croatian, soccer's been in my blood. Obviously, it's in every Croatian's blood. But the next sport that we're kind of known for, and I grew up around, was basketball. A lot of pride in what we do, both soccer and from a basketball standpoint. So if it hasn't been soccer, it'd be basketball for sure.
All right, Coach Escobar.
I'd have to agree with Coach K at St.
Close up a little bit. We may have to come back to Coach Escobar. I think they froze up a little bit. And so we'll come back to him and put a little asterisk because we have to hear. Coach, you froze up on us, but we want to hear what you would say you gonna coach.
Okay, I would agree with Coach K and say basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah, I like the idea of calling timeouts throughout the game, and also having set plays with the balance of free flowing movement. So, so I like the free flowing movement and set plays together. So very similar to soccer, but of course with the timeouts, I think would be fun as a coach.
Okay, basketball, cricket, okay. And finally, our 2A coaches, Coach High C, what do you have for us?
Well, I'm listed as a cross-country coach here at Grace, so that's the other sport I do coach. Although I have to defer, my assistant coach is more of the cross-country guru than I am. I'm more of the facilitator in that respect. But I did dabble in football for 3 years, several decades ago, it seems like. So I'd say football.
Football. Okay, bring us home, Coach Phillips. What sport would you coach?
As the other coach said, I'm also from Trinidad, so cricket is a passion, but I was actually a track runner. So definitely be track, not the field, just the track.
Just the track.
Just
okay. Yes. So you're gonna have to hire someone to do your field events.
Yes.
All right. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, thank you all so much. That's all we have for our coaches and athletes. And I thank you for your participation in today's press conference. But before we go, let's run down how you can catch these teams in action at the state finals. The boys 1A, 2A, and 3A games will be played this Saturday at Irmo High School in Irmo, South Carolina. The boys 1A game between St. Joseph and Christ Church will open play on Saturday at 10 a.m. The boys 2A game featuring Gray Collegiate and Oceanside Collegiate will begin 25 minutes after the conclusion of the girls 2A game. And the girls 2A game follows the boys 1A game. And finally, the boys 3A game between Daniel and Beaufort will begin 25 minutes after the conclusion of the girls 3A game that begins at 6 p.m. Tickets for all state finals are digital and can be purchased at www.gofan.co/SCHSL. And additional information can be found on the South Carolina High School League's website at www.schsl.org. Once again, thank you all so much for taking time out to participate in the press conference. Thank our viewers for tuning in. And this concludes the press conference.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good luck to you all.
Coach Phyllis, I'm gonna give you a call.